Hey guys, welcome back. Well, today we're going to look over some parts I have here and see what you guys think. Gary's definitely gone a different direction, and well, let's just put it this way. I'm engineless with TurboGary. There's no 4.6 4-valve in there right now, and I purchased a different engine. And it's not an LS, so thank God. So we'll just jump right into it and I'll show you what I got. Well, I decided to go with a Ford Racing Boss 351 block, 9.5 deck, and just 4-inch bore, mainly because I want a lot more meat around the cylinder walls and for longevity for over the years. So I plan on going to a 400 cubic inch small block Ford to start things off. I went with a Ford block over the Dart block because of the material that this block is made of, and just odds and ends and other things. It's definitely a little more money, but the tensile strength of this iron is a lot greater, significantly greater than the Dart block, which honestly, hand in hand, you can make big power with both blocks. But you know me, being the Ford guy, I had to go with the Ford Racing block. It's 4-bolt main on the lower center 3. I plan on studying the bottom end, but I did call Ford and ask them what they rate these bolts and everything to. There's guys pushing over 1,000 horsepower with just regular bolts. So we'll go from there. But the casting's a lot nicer on the Ford compared to the Dart. I've put together a Dart earlier this year, and it was just very rough. Ford uses the exact same cast iron in their Ford Racing blocks as they do their 6.7 diesels. It comes with a really nice pamphlet here to look through, and just tells you all the specs of everything and what bolts are needed for what application or what cylinder head. It comes with all the hardware, the plugs, cam plug for the rear, alignment tools, and these plugs here also to go on the engine. But this one here is actually special. It's got a little hole through the center, and it goes right behind the distributor gear. So it's a 30 thousandths hole, and it sprays right on there, so it keeps everything nice and lubed up. Since the Ford has a smaller distributor gear compared to a small block Chevy, so that keeps that alive. Second, we got my Circle D converter in. It's a very nice unit. Spec'd out for this 400 cubic inch engine. And over here, well, we have some more goodies. First off, we'll talk about the Trick Flow 225cc high port heads. If you guys don't know about the high port heads, the high port head on the exhaust side is raised 3/4 of an inch higher, so the flow can easily just push on out without any restriction. Also has different mounting holes for your flanges for different header styles. Definitely big Beefy Springs, good 7 lift, titanium retainers. Be up for a solid roller application on the camshaft, and 208 on the intake, 1.6 exhaust with a 58cc chamber. So yeah, these are some pretty good heads. Very excited to try them out. DSS Racing 2-valve relief flat tops, and 2618 alloy aluminum, very strong, and it has a different ring package. It's their FX series. Lowers everything down. You have a lot more meat on top for a lot more pressure, and keeps the heat away from the rings. And their upgraded wrist pin, like some type of tool steel, I would imagine. Lunati crankshaft, 4-inch stroke, of course. Basically going to be a 408 Windsor. And then last but not least, as you can tell, got myself some really good rods here, some boost line rods. Not very many guys have them installed on their builds, but they're known to be a 2,000 horsepower capable rod, which I'm never going to be ever close to that. But just be nice to have the reinsurance of a good rod in the engine. Anything above this style of rod would definitely be a aluminum rod, but I do not want to have to change things out over time after so many runs down the track. Also, with these stroker cranks and everything, You do have to watch out for your clearance on the counterweight here. So I have a bearing already pushed in there just for testing purposes to show you how close everything gets. Make sure the bevel goes the right direction here. But as you can tell, it just scoots right by. I think they give you about a 50 thousandths play there. If it's tighter than that, then they may have to skim some off the crankshaft. But it looks like I have about a 1/16 of an inch, so everything should be good. Camshaft for this, Ed Curtis from Flowtech is making a custom solid roller for turbo application. Speaking of turbo, I still have my 88 here. So the inducer side would be plenty for pushing some air in this engine, but the exhaust side is going to need some help. I may get a different exhaust housing. If I do get a different exhaust housing, it has to be through Precision because they're all special parts for their shit. And basically it's going to cost like $800 to get a larger housing from this 108 exhaust side. And yeah, kind of sucks, but possibly go to a different turbo if anything, if I can get this one sold in time. But yeah, guys, I think this is a pretty good start. I just need to get the rotating assembly to the shop and get balanced. The block is a rough cut, so it's like 3.990 on the bores right now, and get that thing honed out to spec for these pistons. And this thing will start going together here very soon. So guys, if you like to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more of this build, definitely hang around, and we'll see you on the next one.